Thank you so much for joining us. This is #Y in the morning, and my good name is Brian Sankwa. Now, the spirit of the festivity is finally right here with us, and that means kupiga sherehe. And with that comes sharia, meaning that you have to set aside finances to party, to spend with your loved ones, but also being conscious of your spending habits. If you like to go spend a holiday or a mini vacay in Diani, in Maldives, like my guest had mentioned before I introduce him, what do you need to do? You definitely have to take note of your money spending habits, and that literally touches on matters financial discipline. Our guest who is live with us in the studio, Oluoch, is an economist. Is going to actually give us insights and hacks on how to navigate with your money during this festive season, so that when it comes to January, it doesn't turn out to be in January with 70 days or 45 days, but it's going to be a seamless, awesome month for you. And karibu sana, great to have you here, Hilary.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Now, for people that let's say are watching this conversation for the first time and they don't know your professional background, just a little profile of what you've been doing that's in regards to this conversation, so that they can get to be upbeat with it.
Okay, thank you so very much, and for hosting me, and also for having me on board. I'm Hilary, and Hilary Oluoch. Yeah, I come from Sierra County, and an economist by profession, and currently I am in the corporate space, in the insurance space, and it's a good thing that I find myself in this place. I can also have to mention that I'm a young man, but I have a family. I am a father of a young daughter, and this keeps me knowing how to balance the family. Immediately you have a family of yours, then you continue to have places that require a lot of what you have in the same pocket. So this means that you have to up your game in the way you want to use the money you are having in the language of budgeting. So you have to know the language of the budget and the game. How is the game done? The first thing that happens in the game of the budget is that you have to understand that a budget is funded. So someone must fund it, and then someone somewhere must then spend it. So then you have to lazimu kuirada. You have to to keep on check from the part of bringing money into the space, and then kuirada tena when time comes now to dispatch that money. So that is generally how I can
how you usually help young people to navigate through the finance space. But also now with the festive season, kupiga sherehe ni muhimu, ni lazima. Does that mean that you have to specifically set aside money to spend? Because I think this is something that a lot of people don't maybe pay attention to, maybe a majority, so to say. Like, you know, it's a festive season, but for you with your savings, you're betting on them to spend during these festivities, not knowing that you have to specifically divide your money. If it's your salary, I don't know. Also, you can correct me. Does the 50, 30, 20, 10 rule work in terms of, you know, when you get your salary, like you divide it into an emergency fund, a savings kitty, and then maybe the rest you can use it to do other things. So for a person who's watching this conversation and they have no idea how to, let's say, structure their finances in a way that at least you have that money ya kupiga sherehe. Si ile tu unatoa ya rent and then January, it turned out to be in January. How do you help such a person to navigate through that?
Yeah, the first thing I would want to mention, hearing that, because I've tried that rule, and for sure it works.
Oh, it worked.
It works, yeah. The 50, 30, 20 rule.
20, 10 rule.
Yeah, that 10, it works. So the first thing you must know for it to work for you is that the savings part is the first of all that segregation that you have mentioned. It is the first segment to be taken off that particular
salary
from the salary.
Account.
Like savings is a religious thing, and I'm mentioning that to come also to mention that savings do not stop by any season. is not stopped by any season.
Yeah.
Whatever the season that the season comes, savings is very religious.
So there's no rule for it.
Yeah, there is no rule. So long as you have said that this 10 out of my salary, this 10% is savings, it will be religiously taken as savings, whatever the seasons we are in, be it January, as you are saying, and
or Christmas right now,
and even if it is Christmas, it must be religious, so that it keeps you afloat. And then now the second thing for it to work for you, then budget comes in now, because that is one of the rules of the budget. You can have other rules just as you please, because it's not a must that it works for everyone. Yeah, so this particular rule that we are talking about, the second thing here is now the large chunk that you use now for your basic needs, the things that you cannot do without. So when you come to this place, then now you again see how to squeeze it. And squeezing it here does not mean that you become stingy. You see, there is what you need, and then there is what you want.
Yeah. So you prioritize your needs more.
Yeah, you prioritize on your needs.
So in this festive season, how do you prioritize needs?
Yeah.
Away from the ones, now that there's an influx of family, and now the needs are so many. We have to eat chicken, we have to roast a goat, we have to buy these outfits, we have to set up a Christmas tree, and all these things need money.
Yeah.
So as a person who is a provider, how do you navigate through that?
Yeah, so I think the way that I have used and it's working is to understand how your vision looks like. Like immediately you enter into January, you have to understand and to know some of the things that you would want to do. Yeah. You at least you have a vision of how do I want to piga sherehe when that time comes. Yeah. So immediately when we can call it a low season, because it will require less of your money culturally. Culture has developed it that way. So you spend your money and spend your savings knowing so well that when it reaches a certain season, I'll be able to do this and this. Yeah. And saving is not a stingy way of living. Saving is just showing yourself love. In this season, I'm trying to save because the season demands that. Yeah. When it comes to a high season where even other peoples are pigaring their sherehe, you know very well that I was
pigaring my sherehe, knowing that I have myself.
I was preparing for this particular season.
In fact, you set aside money to spend. Exactly. And you're not like pinching money from maybe your savings. Yeah. What could happen though if you pinched money that you hadn't saved, and you I don't know, would you say it's accidentally or intentionally? Maybe something cropped up, like mtoi amesema anataka hiyo toi, ama shosh anataka hizo pesa tunamtumia saizi. What could likely to happen to you in January?
Okay, you see, when I would want to call it breaking the religious law of savings. If you break the religious law of savings, then when it comes to January, you must suffer. You must suffer the consequences. If you save right now, tomorrow you will be kept afloat. If you miss it right now, tomorrow you are going to suffer. So the budget that we are talking right now, the language of finances, is just to understand and to know. Right now, I am in a season that requires me to piga sherehe the way we want it. But then, what season is coming immediately after this? So that will give you a vision. It's mainly because of the way you see things and the way you plan for the things which are coming. When you go through the sherehe period and then January comes, at this point I am sitting here and I know everything that is beckoning in January. So I must calculate on how I want to do it. And
so you're envisioning actually. You're envisioning a possible nightmare or a good situation, because there's people who get it, say, amounts of money somebody gives you, ama you did a project and you forgot and you got 50k deposited into your account still. Ukasema acha sasa nitumie kupiga sherehe away from your salo. And actually maybe you won't get to feel the heat of the January that people are talking about here. But also just before you react, I want to read to you here something about just the savings catch, and then you can add on with the points, so don't lose your train of thoughts. So in this article right here, I think it's also part of the Daily Nation, they talked about some of the things that bar Kenyans from being part of the savings culture. They're saying it's high cost of living. Others are saying lack of financial literacy. Others are even using things like cultural factors leading to low national savings rates as a nation, and also the lack of a high desire to save daily. Others are saying emergencies, education, people who've retired as well, they don't even have emergency funds. This one I think it caught my attention. Let me see. Digital and micro savings apps that sometimes maybe you put your money there and you find it's wiped out. So a lot of people would say, I'd rather just spend. And also, I don't know if you've heard the Gen Z say this, you 1,000 bob haitakununulia shamba, ikule tu iishe, I don't know if you hear such sentiments and utterances, does it make you shudder and be like, wait, that's financial indiscipline. This is what you should do so that you calculate the savings habit during this festive season?
I think what I pick from all that is basically culture. Yeah, because the social media is also talking, and unfortunately the person who tells me who wants to tell you 1,000 is a small amount of money,
ikula tu haitakununulia Audi.
He may be having more, they may be having more in their plate. So,
so they're gaslighting you,
so that you can proceed and
spend yourself in a ditch.
Exactly. So I would want someone to view their space for themselves.
Right. Situation.
Your situation for yourself, and then envision the things that you are. Each and every one of us know our space. You can, as a provider of a family, I know what is.
Know your limits.
What is going to happen tomorrow? I can envision what is going to happen.
The needs of your family.
Exactly.
You've calculated and you know the cost.
Exactly. What are my needs? I can see them coming from afar, even before I enter into that season.
Right.
So this is a culture that we have created by our own selves. So
everyone a reality actually.
Everyone is outside there. Everyone is pigaring sherehe the way they want. But all those people are on a different space, different families, different jobs, different pay grades. So I would to solve this particular issue, I would still just advise a young person. Just proceed to the budget rule that you have chosen. Or if you are choosing this 50, 30, 20, and 10 that we are choosing right now, it can work for you. You know your space, you know the culture which you are in. I was even looking at, I was reading something on my people from county. You see, when it comes to December, then the culture comes to bully us. So each and every one of us wants to travel.
With a flight.
With a flight.
Maybe the most expensive Mercedes.
Or you just force yourself, you have to travel in December because that is what culture requires. But then you ask yourself, then how can I solve this crisis? Then that's where creativity comes. So you come up with the different ways of now sustaining yourself, because there is a difference between creating a budget for yourself and then following the same budget. It requires discipline and it is the discipline that is going to help you when culture comes bullying. So like right now, I know so well that my mates are going to align in the buses stages between 21st and 25th. Each and every person wants to go back home.
And I wonder, when we travel to Saizi, I'm before, I'm after.
It calls for creativity.
You said again. It's a tradition.
So you ask yourself, how then am I able to solve this?
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, I want to keep I want to be disciplined to the budget line that I chose for myself, and at the end of this season, I still want to be afloat. I still want to
enjoy the season still.
Exactly. That's another point I wanted to mention. Keeping by your budget does not mean you are stingy. That when other people are enjoying, you are suffering. No, again, that one is against Gen Z anasemanga, we live once. That's true, by the way. We live once. You have to enjoy what you are doing. You have to enjoy your
consciously, with caution,
knowing
that there's tomorrow.
There is tomorrow.
January pia, it's just another month like December. Is vile tu iko na month ya Yesu kuzaliwa, even though it's a public celebrated, religious holiday. So I think, like you've said, I think that's an insightful perspective, because a lot of people wouldn't look at it that way. They'd be like, mtoto atakuja na sahani yake, kwa mtoto atakuja na box iko empty. Najikuta hapo kwa matatani. But also, I'm looking at people who are already spending, because there's a friend who used to work at a club. And in these clubs kuna watu wanaitwa spenders. So meaning that there's people who have money to just splash out on this expensive drinks. I don't know, Jika ulishaiona hii, I think ilikuwa on one of the blogs. Mtu amekunywa drinks imekuja 1.5 million. Yes. So I was like, is this your salary? Is this profit you made from a business? Ama you were gifted maybe 2M and you decided to spend 1.5. And I learned there's people who've actually set aside money to spoil themselves and their friends. And like you've said, you just have to take care and know yourself, know your situation, know if you're a family man, know that your family needs to be taken care of, and you have to set aside a kitty for your family. And then also understand it's important as well to set aside an emergency fund. I don't know how many people have these emergency kitties, so to say, whenever things, fall apart financially.
I think that's why we are even here, because each and every one of us require to be literate in terms of matters finance. Each and every institution around, each and every financial institution is helping us through this. Give an example of a space which I am aware of, in the insurance space. Each and every insurance institution within Kenya are trying to open up wallets. How do wallets work? You just envision on something. Maybe you want to go to a vacation or something. Maybe you want to piga sherehe, not now, at an envisioned day. Someday, you see, you're in January, for example. You're in January and you know very well that me, together with my family, in December, I want to try something new. I want to go to Mombasa. I want to have a week in Diani. You already have it. So it is, as you plan your budget, you have this as one of the things that are not as savings, but as objectives you want to meet. So you can visit any of this institution, open up a wallet, and then you can now decide on how much you want to be in that your wallet. And the good part of it is most of these institutions have given have made those wallets to be investments also. So that means they are unit linked, and they can your money is also going to be increasingly, it's going to be increasing in value at a certain rate. So you just decide, because I want to do this in December, I want to start in January. So I want to put bit by bit, even as it grows. But at the end of my savings, then I would be having, you can envision that it's just a simple calculation. If I do 20,000 per month, let's talk that because we are talking the language of young people who are just starting. 20,000 per month. By the end of the year, by December, you will be having almost 200. Apart from all other things that all other places you'd want to get your finances at. So you can use this to do everything, give back to yourself. Let your family feel like you normally come from the house every morning. Let you be, you must also be felt, because you can't work and then how pigi sherehe. That's also
it's like some sort of self-respect. And so taking care of yourself is not like being selfish or or superficial. It's being conscious that, you know, you've been working and you're rewarding yourself, which I feel like a lot of people maybe don't also recognize that. But then now for a person who earns, let's say, I don't know what is the government, I think, has given the minimum wage to be what? Is it 25 or 20K? But there's people who even get below than that. So how can a person who is getting maybe a small, for lack of a better phrase, a small amount of money be able to piga sherehe vizuri? Sherehe ni sheria na ni a must. And still pia aweze go through January ya kifeel fiti bila nisukosuka kupiga simu, hoi sakwa niokole punch, hoi nimekwama, you know. All those things usually happen a lot. Oh, landlord amefanya this and that. How can they go through the Christmas season and the festivities at large, so to say, seamlessly without having to piga hizi masimu, oh niokole punch, gasi imekatika ukipika ugali bro, githeri what? So how can they go through, you know,
so
seamlessly?
I think the first thing, I would want to call it creativity, because by you can create your way out of that. The first thing, you must know where you are in terms of your financial muscles, so that when culture is calling, you can tell yourself that siwezi piga hivi, but I can piga it this way. And then be aware of your surrounding. What are the things that are available? What are the things that are available so that you can use them for this season? I can tell you that this is the time we have Black Friday. These are the times we have offers.
Black Friday offer Jaisha.
But it's almost like each and every Friday. I don't know if it's still there, but
it a lot in November. Black Friday in November.
But when you say Black Friday, sana this one that are coming towards the end of the year, it's because the festivities are knocking. So there must be discounts during even if you visit these supermarkets, you will
there's a lot of
get
Christmas
discounts.
You
alluded into it. If I know so well that when it gets to 24th, I'll have to pay 5,000 to go back to the village, then why can't I do it in 19th, around 19th, if you can plan well? It's all about planning. See where the discounts, one or two, you start to help you save your finances with an intention of getting into January while you are still afloat. And I can tell each and everyone, despite the amount of money you are receiving, the rule will still be applicable. So whatever you have saved, that is going to define for you the extent you can go in terms of kupiga sherehe, because you can't spend what you don't have.
But of impulsive buying, because I know there's something with going to Ushago. With this season still at large, umetulia tu na boys wako na kupigana kwambia sakwa tunaenda runda, hey, kumbe mnaenda kuspend pesa zenye uja plan, you know. And also you could just be randomly, I don't know if it has happened to me alone. You're walking at the supermarket or at this boutique and una sport shati ingine hapo, and then unakumbuka shati wana van kenda job, manzao shati ni buy hii, like you had never planned for it, but the good has attracted you, and here you are on the counter paying for it 2,000 bob that you had not initially budgeted for. Ushago unasikia tu shoshe nahitaji 2K. Boom. You hadn't budgeted for that anyway. This impulsive shopping, spending and whatnot. So how do you avoid or disconnect or delink yourself from impulsive shopping? Unatembea tu kwa mall, umeona your ice cream lazima tununulie baby girl, boom, ushachoma wa punch hapo hivyo. How do you detach from impulsive shopping and buying and spending?
I think that's the main part of the budget. Because budget is simply a plan. So you are creating a plan for yourself. So when it comes to now dispatching funds from your plan or your budget, the budget that you have already funded, now to the end part of it is dispatching funds. So the first thing that must stick in your mind as you do your plan, the actually needs. What do I need at the moment? Have I sorted all my needs? That's why we start with that 50, so that we see I have done this and this and this and this, and then I have a practice, a personal practice of holding the emergency funds until the end of the period. If I'm planning for that amount of money monthly, like for example my salary, so I know that I have 20 for emergency. It's there. Emergency is emergency. So emergency is for a period of time, maybe now towards the end of the month. Now I can make another decision. I have saved my emergency funds. So then, can I use this one to now give me some benefit? Can I use this one now? You see, this one is not touching on your salary for the next month. That one you are also going to subject it to the same rule. So right now you have just
how effective is that though, Hilary? Because I can imagine uko tu na 30k 50k mahali and you're being told tunahitaji tu 2k, utasema tu hauna pesa. How easy or difficult to navigate that part is?
It is so difficult, especially when you have a +1 that is depending on your budget. You see, you
like
can
a child or a child, a wife,
a wife, a family setup, or even your parents, because they are also dependent.
What about a friend who is in need? And as a friend in need is a friend in need.
Exactly.
That's Aisha.
I would love to discuss that longer, because there is something that is called social capital. And you know for sure someone who you are able to stand with, a friend who is in need. But right now, even if you, in each and every person's space, someone joked the other day that if you don't have like 5 WhatsApp groups that are changaring something, then you are an introvert.
An introvert, hadi WhatsApp,
hauna marafiki, and exactly that is what is going to happen to you. So really, I think when it comes to that, then you have to evaluate your social capital. These are my friends, so am I able to give back to them? It also forms an impulse, like impulse use of money. When any person that comes to your WhatsApp, any person that anakushtua tu na link, then the next thing they want is they want you to act.
What if dad has died? For me, my dad died, so I can use that example. Anyways, I'm not afraid. Maybe somebody's dad has died and they want money. Like me, my dad just died suddenly, and boom, here's the situation. And we have to face it, and I need the money. So if you're a friend that should have helped and you have this emergency fund, what are you going to do now?
You see, that is also emergency. A friend of mine being in a situation that is an emergency to me. Friends and family are just a thin line away. A friend of mine who is a member of my social capital, if anything happens to them and I am in a position to help them, that is an emergency to me. So if it is within what I can do within whatever I can afford within the emergency fund, then I will be in a position to act. You see, and I don't want to find myself in a situation where I go extra mile. It may be controversial, but I would not want to surpass the emergency or to do away with my needs and to go into a place that I will have to imagine,
like I'm sacrificing and going through fire so that you go through goodness.
That one would happen even with my parents. I would not do away with my needs
to support yours.
It will be
that's something related to firstborns.
It's automatically going to breach my rule in the first place, and then it's going to it's going to take me to a place where now I need to recover. And there is nothing bad as recovering. You may not even recover.
Yeah, I've actually had confessions. There's this podcast called Financially Incorrect by Brian Bukusi. There's one of the episodes where he hosted a person who I think they cut off their family because of being financially drained. And a lot of people are saying you shouldn't cut off your mom. Your mom is everything. But they were draining you financially. So where do you draw the line again between helping a dearly loved one who has a serious issue and protecting and shielding yourself from the mess that will come after you've helped them, you know? Should you draw a red line ukisema kama unahitaji 50k na niko maybe na 70k, maybe wacha tu nipe 15k ikusaidie, but beyond that if you need 30, I pray God afungue mlango upate other extra 15k so that situation yako ikuwe sorted, other than you sacrificing and then tena uanze kupitia through mashida vile umesema, all in the name of trying to help, you know, your mother. But I think it will also vary with the level of love in your heart you have for them.
It's not love 100%. It's also the upbringing. And also the financial literacy of the parents. So that's why I'm passionate talking to about this, because at some point I'll also be
you also need
in that space.
Anyways, even when a president dies, he doesn't changia himself. People changa for him to be buried.
And I'm also saying one day I'll also be a parent, be in the same position, a retired person without
and you need people to changa.
I need people to take care of me. But one day I was sitting with my own father, and then I have to say this, unfortunately it took long for me to find myself somewhere to earn a salary. So I used to go back home, and then he tells me, I did not take you to school so that you can
come back.
No, not really. Come back and give me money. I took you to school because it was my responsibility.
Wow, that must have been a nice dad.
He told me that. So I don't know if it was because I didn't have something at that moment.
You're the firstborn?
No, I'm not the firstborn.
Middle child.
I'm a middle child. We were just having a conversation.
Loving, caring dad.
I heard of that, and the next thing that happened to me is the feeling of the warmth of that love. So I felt like giving,
but you didn't have it. You wish you had it.
So giving to a parent depends on two things, really. When you have what you have, but whatever you have is the main the main function of that particular action. When you have, you can give, but there is
you don't have, or you have for you.
Only
for something you
start with you first. It may be controversial, but I want to sell it to people. Start with you first. So long as you are strong and you are kept afloat, you can be in a position to help each and every person that comes.
Start with you. You can have 100,000, but you feel like it's not enough for you. So don't remove even 1,000, but then send it home.
Not really. Like start with your needs. If you are done doing with your needs, everything that remains, that forms part of the emergency, you can make a decision now on that. You can make a decision on that. These are my needs. I am done with my needs. So after doing well with your needs, because everyone needs you. Hawa watu wanakutaka tu ukiwa you are happy, not if you are recovering. So first, set yourself a flat ground. So after setting this, God is always faithful. If your rule works well, emergency will enable you to do all the things you can do, and to a certain level where you can surpass. So you must also agree with yourself that up to this area now I am not able to
do it. My hands are up. What a good idea. But also, how many people have this emergency kit? I think that's another question. As we close it up in this conversation, maybe in a minute, what would you recommend a person who each and every January they're always in financial ditches and accidents, in financial darkness. Gas imekatika, amerudi sijui landlord ameweka padi, alienda alitravel hakulipa stima tokens, ndio hao watoi, loan ndio hiyo imeenda overdue, what would you recommend them to be maybe a possible solution as they navigate through this festive holiday and then come 2026? If you go by some of maybe 1, 2, 3 things, you definitely land yourself on the road to goodness, especially when it comes to money and being financially disciplined as we enter into 2026.
Yeah, I think I would, to keep it brief, I would want to start with someone who is starting in January before I talk to someone who is in it right now. So someone who is starting in January, you have all the 12 months to plan your seasons and to jipanga. So find a way, draw a budget for yourself, draw a way you want to fund, choose a rule that you want to fund this budget of yours. And then after doing that, now keep yourself on track. Look at all the things that would want to push you into impulse buying, address that one. Look at all the offers that are being brought by life. Life brings offers. If there are Black Fridays, discounts, if there are things you can do together, there are things by the way you can do by yourself, but you end up giving services to people and you pay. Things like decoration, you can do those things yourself. Things like but then moving to job, these are things you can be creative about. It's just a matter of being creative around life. You can carpool, by the way, you can carpool and go to job. It may not be the life you want at a start, but just living that life will be able to leave you at a position where you can now make a life which you want. Proceed as early as January. Proceed to these banks and even financial institutions. They have very good wallets that you can use to just have a savings plan. You save monthly, or even if you are in a business space, you save each and every part of your profit. When time comes, you will realize that this is really happening. For someone who is in this season right now and wants, it's scared, whatever you have is limited, but then you want to be kept afloat when it comes to January. Just make sure, again, that all these things that are brought by pressure, which you don't need, just do away with some of them. Just do away with some of them, and whatever is remaining, stick to your plan. Stick to your plan of just the way you brought it in. Now it's time to stick to your plan of now.
Make it work. Absolutely. And I think that closes up the conversation. Do you have a LinkedIn where people can reach out? Say it in 5 seconds as we exit.
Okay, I have a LinkedIn, Hilary Oluoch, connected with what I am doing, even in the corporate space, and you can also have my page in Facebook, Hilary Oluoch also, and maybe I can leave them with just one advice. Each and every young person, my youth, this thing, we are getting it right from the beginning. We are not going to be wazee when you are Mesota. We are getting it in the beginning. So right now, whatever you are doing, whatever you are earning, the small it is, before you talk about big things, start it right now. Save something. Put small something. So long as you put one today, you put one tomorrow, by the end of 5 days, it will be 5. So just start now and let us do this together so that we'll be champions in the days to come.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And tumesema tunakataa kukua generation ambayo imesota haina pesa. Sini generation iko na pesa, na iko na nguvu, na iko na financial discipline. Thank you so much for your invaluable insights. Hilary Oluoch, he's an economist. You definitely know where to plug with him and connect with him on LinkedIn and on socials. And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I've been yours truly, Brian Sakwa. Enjoy. See you next time.
Thank you.